to You by Puffin.
How to be disabled and proud, or at least kinda sorta okay with it. Written and read by me, Cathy Reay. Introduction. A bit about me and who I wrote this book for. Have you ever felt like you don't fit in anywhere, or as though no one understands what it feels like to be you? Maybe you feel like the only person in the whole wide world who looks, moves, or thinks the way you do. Well, I'm here to tell you that you are not alone and that you belong in this world exactly as you are. Hi, my name's Cathy. I'm a mum, a writer and editor, and I live in England. I'm creative, sometimes a bit silly, and I have an amazing group of friends. Another thing about me is that I have a disability called achondroplasia. I know, that word is kinda tough to remember. You say it like achondroplasia. An easier word you might already know is dwarfism. Achondroplasia is a type of dwarfism. Having achondroplasia dwarfism means my arms, legs, fingers and toes are shorter compared to most other people's. My head is bigger and heavier, and my spine, that long bone in the middle of our backs, is curved. I can run around, play games, work, learn, and have fun, just like anyone else, but how I do those things is different to how others do them. For example, I run very slowly, and I get tired easily. I hold a pen and my knife and fork differently to most people. When I was a kid, I fell over a lot, and for most of my childhood I needed someone to help me with my underwear so I could go for a wee. Maybe you do some things differently to other kids too. Perhaps you sometimes find it tricky asking for help when you need it. Or maybe you just need a reminder that it's kinda sorta okay if you're not the best at running, sports, maths, drawing, or anything else that you might find hard sometimes. Whatever the reason you're listening to this, I'm here to help. I wrote this book just for you. Well, technically, I wrote it for both of us, because young Cathy needed this then just as much as you probably do now, and maybe even more. When I was young, there weren't really any books written for kids like me. My whole world was so much taller than I was. My parents, family and friends were all average height, except one friend who lived very far away, and this was before we could communicate through WhatsApp. I never saw people like me on TV either. Most of the musicians and actors I loved weren't disabled, and when disabled people were on the screen, like the super cool rock singer Ian Drury, non-disabled people would often react like, OMG, amazing! Sorta like, wow, he can sing even though he's disabled. And there was me thinking, of course he can. His disability doesn't affect his ability to sing. Back then, disabled people were either seen as these amazing heroes because we could sing, dance, run, act, insert any other activity here, or people just felt sorry for us. To me, it always felt really weird when people said I was amazing just for being disabled and living my life. And I didn't like it when people felt sorry for me either. To be honest, I often wished people would stop commenting on and thinking about what I looked like or what I could do altogether. A lot has changed since I was a kid, and nowadays there are so many disabled actors, singers, writers, TV presenters, models and athletes on our screens, and in books and magazines. Laws have changed, making it easier for disabled people to have jobs, whether they're famous or not. There are more disabled doctors, dentists, hairdressers, shopkeepers, bankers, and every other type of job. The more we see disabled people represented in everyday life, the more likely it is that non-disabled people will treat us just like anybody else, and not be so surprised to see us out in the world. But society still has a long way to go towards fully accepting all disabled people, which we'll talk more about later in this book. As a young person, I often...
Sample complete. Ready to continue?